Hello there. Um, so a few points of information about me. I drink a coffee in the morning. It's an instant Lavazza coffee. I hate herbal tea. I hate it. Ugh. I try all the time going, oh, I should really drink fennel tea or chamomile tea or something. Don't like it. I curse quite a bit. Yeah, I really like it. I've kind of got this feeling that I really like cursing. I make a lot of the moves up that we do. And over time, in the beginning, I thought that was me being fake and not being a real yogi. And now I just love it. Now it's a possibility and the opportunity for me to be really inquisitive into how do I move in a daily basis? What am I doing? What are people around me doing? What is that? And how do I do that? Um, and so, yeah, I think the biggest thing about all of this is that it's really okay for me to be me and for you to be you. Um, so, yeah, uh, be great at being you. So today we're going to do wood chopping. And so, hairbrush, tube of something, a biro, or just your thumbs, okay, or your stone we can use, or if you have an axe, don't use it, okay. We're experimenting here, okay. So come lie on your back, lying on your back, your knees are bent. It's very bright here now. It's still a bit overcast today, but that's light now. It's pretty amazing. So land onto the floor. When you feel into the back of your shoulders, does it feel like your shoulders are different from each other? And so how I gauge that is I find the point of my shoulders, the shoulder joint in my awareness. And then I find my elbows and I draw a line between the two. It's called the humerus. It's the upper arm bone. But just in your awareness, draw the line between the two. And for me, one of those lines, one of those bones is falling outwards, and the other one has a different slant to it. Nice. And then also one shoulder feels very heavy and rounded into the floor, and the other one feels kind of pointy. Chico is snoring very loudly. And then the back of your rib cage. How does the back of your rib cage rest on the floor? Do you feel the back of your neck? Is one side longer or shorter than the other? When you feel from your shoulder joints all the way down to your hip joints, does one side of your torso feel bigger or longer than the other? Nice. And then just begin to sway your knees from side to side. And as you sway, feel how your lower back rises as you drop your knees down to the side. Feel how there's a lifting into the back of the rib cage and then a landing of the back of your rib cage onto the floor. So there's an arching on one side and then it lands. And then an arching and then it lands. Can you make that arching and landing of the back as your knees drop? Can you make it really smooth? Arching, drop, arching, drop. It's happening naturally, but you're just bringing your awareness into one of the parts of you that's moving. Nice. Come back to center. Now, arching with your square and then flatten down. So again, the lower ribs are lifting off the floor, but now both sides and then both landing. Both ribs rising, both ribs landing. Both ribs rising, both ribs landing. Nice. So bring your left hand to the front of your chest to rest on your heart. Right arm is long beside you or straight out to the side, as you wish. See which one suits you. And then just lift your shoulder a little bit forward, like you lift your shoulder off the floor. And when you do that, your
left shoulder lifts and your right shoulder pushes more into the floor. And then drop your left shoulder to the floor. Hand stays in the front of your chest the whole time. Lift your left shoulder off the floor and then drop it. Lift your left shoulder off the floor and then drop it. And notice what's happening through the back of your rib cage. The same as what we were doing when we were twisting our pelvis. The rib cage lifts off and then it lands. Rib cage lifts off and then it lands. One more time. Rib cage lifts off and then it lands. Nice. Other side. Reach the left arm either out to the side or long beside you. I think I like mine out to the side. It just feels juicy. Bring your right hand to the front of your chest and then lift your shoulder off the floor and then it land. Shoulder off the floor. Land. Which one was easier to do? Which one feels smoother? Shoulder off the floor and land. Nice. Come back to the first side. Left hand to the front of your chest. Now pull your left shoulder into the floor really strongly and let your right shoulder lift as a result. But just it's like it pops off the floor. So pull your left shoulder back and something happens in the right. Pull your left shoulder back and something happens in the right. Last of these. Bring your right hand to the front of your chest. Pull your right shoulder back and relax. Pull your right shoulder back. Relax. Pull your right shoulder back. Oh, and relax. Nice. Both arms are wide. Drop both knees down towards the right. Bend your left elbow and glide your left hand over towards the right. And then just slide from your elbow to beyond your hand. Nice. So your left arm is traveling back and forward. And so feel your rib cage. Your rib cage is gliding back and forward. And when your hand comes near your shoulder, your elbow, draw your shoulder blade backwards a little bit into the body. Would you really mobilize the shoulder way forward and then way back? Way forward and way back. Nice. Other side. Come to center, straighten yourself up. Drop your knees down towards the left. Glide the right hand over towards the left side. And then hand to your elbow, but really pull your shoulder back into the joint. Reach your right shoulder forward and then pull the right shoulder back. What's happening in your rib cage? Forward and back. One more time. Forward. It's amazing. After 3 days of doing these mobilizations, it's quite amazing how different my rib cage is. It's really interesting. I can reach way more forward and back. Nice. Both arms wide. And just let that settle. He's snoring so loud today. So bring your right arm long and above your ear and rest it on the floor. So it's just long and resting on the floor. And then roll over onto your right side. So your two knees are on top of each other and you're resting on your right arm. And then bring your hand to the front of your chest and roll a big circle with your shoulder on the left. Big circle. And then roll in the other direction. A big circle with the left shoulder in the other direction. Nice. Pull your shoulder down like you're trying to bring your elbow to your hip. And then draw your shoulder up towards your ear. Pull your shoulder down and shoulder up. Bring your hand to the side of your waist. So you're holding on to the bones of your pelvis. So my fingertips are touching the front bones of my pelvis and my thumb is around the back of me. And then lift your rib cage off the floor on the right rib cage lifts up and then push your rib cage down. Lift your rib cage up and push it down. And just feel that something's happening into your hip as you do that. So exaggerate the hip movement. So as I push down, my hip lifts up, rises towards my shoulder. As I lift my rib cage off the floor, my hip moves away from me. So just feel that. Hip up and hip down, which causes the rib cage to lift up and down. So now travel to the side of your waist and feel your waist lifting and dropping as you lift the rib cage off and drop it down. Travel a bit higher, lower rib cage. Can you feel movement into the top of your rib cage as you do this? Hand just underneath your armpit. I can't really feel movement there. It's more my shoulder blade that's moving. I can't quite move. I can feel the under rib lifting, but I can't really feel the upper rib moving. Just notice. Nice. And then reach your left arm long beside your ear and reach your left leg long. Nice. And then bring your elbow and your knee together and push your rib cage into the floor. Maybe your head will lift a bit. And then stretch long and lift your rib off the floor as you reach your fingers along the floor, as you reach your toes along the floor. Get super, super long into the deep of your belly. Nice. Elbow and knee together. Push your rib cage into the floor. Your head will lift. And then reach long and gliding your fingers as long as you can, reaching your toes as long as you can. Super long. Your rib cage is off the floor. And again, elbow to your knee, knee to your elbow. Lift your head, but your head will lift because your rib cage is pushing down. And then long, super long. Nice, last time. Elbow to your knee, knee to your elbow. And super long. Can you let your fingers reach further, your toes reach further, your rib lift a little bit more? I feel like almost like I'm trying to float off the floor because my shoulder and my hip are pushing so deeply down and the top of me is lengthening so much. So yeah, great. Come all the way back. Both arms are wide. Just pause there. Wow, it's super long into the left side. I feel that in my face almost. It's pretty cool. So bring your left arm long beside your ear. Scratch your dog if you find your dog. Yeah. And then roll over onto your left side. Bring your knees on top of each other and bring your right hand to the front of your chest. And then just roll deeply into your shoulders. Nice. And then roll in the other direction. So cool. Bring your right hand to your hip and then lift your rib cage off the floor and then push your rib cage down. And notice there's something that's happening in the waist in your hip and exaggerate that movement. So really lengthen the waist, lift the rib cage, drop your hip, squeeze your hip, shorten the waist, push your rib cage down. So nice, lovely. And now begin to travel up into the waist, lengthening, dropping, up, down, rib cage, up, down, up, down, higher rib cage. Hailstones, wow. Super cool. So reach your right arm long above your ear, reach your right leg long so your toes on the floor. Nice. And then bring your right elbow, right knee together and squeeze your rib cage into the floor and your head will lift. And then stretch long, let your rib cage lift off the floor as you stretch into your toes and reach deeply into your fingers. Nice. And then push your rib cage into the floor. Bring your elbow and knee together. And then stretch long, super, super long. I feel like my waist is getting longer as my whole leg and pelvis draw down into my toes. Nice. And again, up, and then long. Nice. Push down your rib cage, rising up. Super long. Nice. Last time. Rising up. And super long. Just hold it. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Yum. Come all the way onto your back. And just pause there. Nice. So roll all the way over and come into a seated position. Have your feet wide, and you can have your object handy, or you can have your hands handy. So you don't need an object really. Okay, so feet are wide, and we're going to start with country dancing. So right thumbs move towards the right, and then thumbs move towards the left, and your elbows rise. So just feel that. So again, we're mobilizing into the rib cage. It's just all about ribs really at the moment for me. So it's all about ribs for you too. And as your elbow rises, so if I'm leaning towards the left, feel the rib cage on the right and exaggerate the lifting of your elbow. As always, if you're minding your shoulders, mind your shoulders. Okay? Nice. So interlock your fingers and just have your thumb high first. Okay, so I just have my thumb upwards. And then turn your thumb towards the right and then glide towards the right. No, left, sorry. And then turn your thumb towards the left and glide your hands towards the right. So imagine that there's a thing in the middle, a tree in the middle of you that you want to chop. So chop. So we start again. Thumbs are pointing towards the right, and it's your baby finger side that chops. Okay, and then you turn your thumb towards the left and then chop. Turn towards the right with your thumbs, chop. Turn towards the left with your thumbs. So just feel that. It's a low movement. It's a little hack, a little hatchet. So chop, chop, chop. And there's this moment where you're turn, chop, turn, chop, turn, chop, turn, chop. So there's a bigger movement, okay? So it's a bit like country dancing. So first off, we'll do it with one hand. So let your right elbow lift up. And then turn your right elbow in and bring your elbow down towards your belly button. So lift your right elbow up as high as you can towards the right, and then turn your right elbow in towards your belly button. Interlock your hands. Turn your right elbow up as high as it goes, and then turn your right elbow in towards your belly button. Chop. Turn your right elbow up, and then turn your right elbow in towards your belly button. Chop. So do that a few times. Lift and chop. Lift, chop. Feel the rib cage. Lift, chop, lift, chop. If I wanted really deeper, I actually go lower with my head. So the higher my head is, the less momentum I have. The lower my head is, the more I feel like I have a swing on it. Nice. Other side. Only the left arm. So left elbow rises, and then turn and bring your elbow down towards your navel. Left elbow rises. Turn, elbow down towards your navel. Left elbow rises. Turn down towards your navel. Interlock your fingers. So left elbow rises. Turn, elbow down to your navel. Chop. Left elbow rises. Chop. Left elbow rises. Chop. Left elbow rises. Chop. So we're going to do both sides. It's a bit trickier. So right elbow rises. Chop. Left elbow rises. Chop. Right elbow. Chop. Left elbow. Chop. This is the moment where if you have something in your hands, it's really satisfying. So chop. So at any stage today, if you're chopping trees, think of me. Chop. 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 One more time. Chop. Chop. Remove your chopping board or whatever you call it. Stretch your legs out long in front of you. From here, round your back, bring your nose down towards your thighs, and then sweep your hands behind you. Lift your chest as you push your chest forward. Nice. Hands forward, bring your forehead down towards your knees. Swing your hands back, open through your chest. So again, we're mobilizing the rib cage. Rounding your back, nose down to your thighs, direction. And then fingers back, open through the rib cage. Nice. Reach your right hand forward. Grab forward on the left side, and then pull your right elbow back so that the elbow is moving towards the floor behind you. Reach the left hand forward, and then pull it back. Right hand forward, outside of your left foot. And pull it back. Left hand forward, and pull it back. Really feel the the reach, and then the pull. Reach, and then the pull. Reach, and pull. Reach, and pull. Great. Bend your knees. We're going to do something similar again. So this time, instead of going out to the side, you go between. So reach your right hand between your two knees and bring your hand to the floor. And then pull that back and bring your left elbow backwards. And then twist, reach your left hand forward, touch the floor. Pull back and change. Right hand forward, pull it back. Left hand forward, pull it back. One more time each side. Right hand forward, pull it back. Left hand forward, pull it back. Super cool. So from here, roll backwards. So how would you roll backwards? Would you go down sideways, one elbow down, roll down? Or would you go center? Both hands reaching as you go down. Oh, just land on the floor. Bring your feet as wide as your mat. Bring your arms out and just drop both knees down to the right and turn your head towards the right. And just relax into your face. Relax into your neck. Soften into your shoulders. Deepen your breath into your belly. Soften into the pelvis, the hips, the thighs, the knees, the feet. Notice your face softening, the expression on your face softening, your lips, your gums, your teeth, your eyes, the skin on your face. Even have a slight smile on your face. It'll soften the whole nervous system. Nice. Bring your knees back up to center. Head back to center. Drop your knees to the left. Turn your head to the left. And again, just soften your face, the expression on your face. Let your skin hang on your face towards the left. Feel your shoulders softening, your chest softening, your breath down into your belly. Your eyes can be open. Often when I begin to soften, I have this impression of lying in grass in the sunshine in the summer and watching clouds and trying to work out what animal is in the clouds. So maybe just remember that sense of ease and warmth and rest and safety in your body as you sink, as you deepen, as you soften. So in the forest that I'm looking at right now, all the buds are budding on the trees and all the lamb's tails are on the hazel, and it's really very amazing. It hasn't started to green yet. That's usually sometime next week that suddenly there's this blush of green. It hasn't quite happened yet. It's very exciting, the moment of the greening. And come all the way back to center. Just bring your hands to your belly and just rest there as long as you need to. You just let that settle. Feeling your breath in your belly, the weight of you, the wellness of you, the wonderfulness of you, and just the individuality and the uniqueness of you. Now get really good at being you. Best thing to do today. So great. I will see you all tomorrow for Sunday. Sunday fun day. Lovely. I love Sunday mornings. So great. How lovely. Have a great day. Oh, actually, this beautiful drone footage of our garden that was taken. I'm going to just share it with you there. Okay, hold on. 2 seconds. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So this is from directly above our house. This is looking out towards the Aran Islands, I think, is it? Or
Is that Claire? And then that's our house. There's the car, there's the studio with the grass roof, the forest around us, the chicken coops and all the gardens and all that. It's pretty cool. Very lovely where we live. Those of you who don't know, haven't been here, this is kind of the landscape. We can't see, we have no neighbors in eyesight from us, which is very wonderful and awesome. And we have huge big trees everywhere. You can see chicken coops and all God, chickens in the middle there. So great, lovely guys. Have a wonderful day. Be you, be awesome. Great.